my name is Linda. Welcome to Finding Beauty. My purpose for doing this is to bring positive and uplifting messages, to bring hope and encouragement, because there's a lot of things in life that can be negative, especially right now. Everything is just crazy and confusing, and it can be easy to be distracted or depressed. So I just want to bring some encouragement and love. Like many of you, I've had some difficult seasons in life, some tragedies, things that made me depressed for kind of a while, and it was hard to get through. So I just want to share a little bit about how I came through that and encourage any of you who might be having a hard time. So I want to share in this video something that happened when I was taking a walk this last winter. It was winter, so kind of gloomy out. All the trees were bare and all the leaves were kind of rotting in the street, wet and gross and not very pleasant. And life can feel like that sometimes, just depressing and not very nice, and sometimes it's hard to get through. And it's okay when we have seasons like that. We all have seasons like that. It's okay to not be okay sometimes, but we just have to be careful not to stay there too long. We just have to find our way through that. So that's kind of what I want to share with you. And back to my walk, it was gloomy out, and all of a sudden I see this bush out of nowhere that was so beautiful, and it had red berries and red leaves, and it just seemed so out of place because it was this beautiful bush, this beautiful little spark of life in the middle of all this gloomy winter. And it was so uplifting and kind of encouraging for me. It just made me smile and brighten my day, and it reminded me that God is always there, even when you don't remember, even when it doesn't feel like it, even when times are hard. He's still there. He's always there, and he cares. And it was just this little reminder that I needed that day, and I just wanted to share that with you. So that's kind of what Finding Beauty is all about, just becoming more aware of God's presence, his blessings, his gentle whispers, his little reminders of love and life and hope that are all around us. And the more I pay attention, the more I notice, and it just lifts my day. It's like even when I was in the hardest times, he's just there, and he's like reaching out, and he's just reaching out for me. And I had to choose to let him in, to take his hand, and to allow him in my heart and in my life to bring healing and to wash away some of that pain and some of that negativity that just I didn't need to carry with me anymore. But I had to let him in. It was a choice I had to make. So it was definitely a process, but it was a beautiful process. It was a wonderful thing to look back and see where I was and where I am now, and how he just kind of never gave up on me. He never, made me feel terrible about if my mistakes I made, or, he's just loving, and he wants to be there for me. He wants to be there for you. He loves you. He's reaching out to all of us, and we just have to choose to let him in and to let him allow him to bring that healing and peace and love, even when it doesn't make sense, even when you don't feel like it's possible. It's just a wonderful thing when we allow that to start happening. So if you're having a hard time with anything, if you're having a rough season, one thing I do often, and I've done this many times, and it's always been a blessing, it's always turned out good, is I'm having a hard time, things are difficult, it's overwhelming, I don't know how I'm going to get through it, I don't know how it's going to turn out, and I just give it to God. I just tell him all about it, just release it to him. And sometimes it's okay to be real with him and to be honest with him and to be like angry and be like, oh, this is awful. I hate this. And it's okay. He can handle our emotions. It's okay to just let it all out however you can. Talk to him, write it down, whatever. It doesn't matter. And there's no wrong way to talk to God. It's like building a friendship with a friend. Like, you have to talk to build that friendship. There's no wrong way. There's no pressure. Just talk to him. Come as you are. He loves you just the way you are. So just let him know, this is what's going on. This is what I'm worried about. This is what's making me so mad. I can't stand this. Whatever it is, give it to him. And then I ask him for help. Now that I've released it to him, I'm like, okay, now please help. Will you please take this, and will you please work, and will you please help, and just let me know what my part is. What do I need to do next? Because pretty much he's got it, but what's my part that I need to do next? Sometimes it's just wait and pray, and sometimes there's a little thing I need to do, but mostly it's a small thing, like he's got it. And what happens is, even before nothing changes in that situation, I start to feel peace, which is so cool and it's not instant. Sometimes I have to do this like 100 times a day because it's like it's like tennis. It's like a little ball of worry that comes back. And I'm like, nope, I already gave it to you, Lord. Boop, give it right back. I trust you. Thank you for your work. I know you've got this. And so it comes back and forth, back and forth. I give it to him, and then it comes back. Something reminds me, or I think about it again, and I feel worry and anxiety again. And I'm like, oh, give it back, back and forth. And it's okay if that happens. I've done that so many times. But then after a while, I just feel this peace about that situation, even before anything changes, which is so cool. That's just so cool to see God work and to feel his work in your life. And so I just want to encourage you to do the same thing, even if you've never done it before, even if it sounds super crazy, even if you've never talked to God a day in your life, even if you're not even sure about God and Jesus. That's okay. It's okay to be in that place and to not be sure. He's okay with our questions and our doubt. Just try. Just give him, a little opportunity. Just open your heart to him enough to say, this is a hard time I'm going through in my life, and I'm just going to give it to you, and just please show me who you are, and just please come into my life and help me. Please help me, because he loves you, and he loves me, and he's just so faithful and good, and it's such a beautiful thing when that process starts happening. Sometimes some of the things that help me the most is songs. There's a lot of beautiful music that just brings healing and comfort, and certain verses are just comforting. 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast your cares on him because he cares for you. And I love that we can do that. I love that he loves us enough and so much that we can just give him whatever's troubling us, and whatever it is, nothing too big, nothing too small. If it matters to us, it matters to him, and so we can give him our cares and our anxieties and our worries and our fears because he cares about us. And another thing, Christian music, if you've never heard it, there's so many beautiful songs, so many different styles, all different kinds. And God just works and speaks through music sometimes in a way that nothing else, I can't absorb or receive anything else, so I'll just listen to a song and it just soaks in and makes me feel so much better. So a couple of them I want to share with you if you want to look them up. Chris Tomlin, Jesus Loves You, because Jesus loves you. It's just such a beautiful song. And then the other one, because I was talking about how God's reaching out to you, Building 429, Walls Are Coming Down. That's a beautiful song too, where he's just talking about that. And I just want to encourage you, it's okay to not be okay, and you are loved, and your life matters, and Jesus loves you, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye!